Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my live this morning. I talked a few weeks ago about revisiting Halloween before I moved on to Christmas. And one thing I hadn't used yet were these iridescent treat bags. And they have kind of mesmerized me right from the start because they are so pretty. People have been using them even on cards, but they have a very opalescent, pearly kind of quality to them that kind of changes color with things that are put behind it. So they are really perfect for Halloween and for adding kind of a spooky element to your Halloween projects. So yesterday I was playing around and this is what I came up with, and I really love this because the topper is on top of the treat bag, but we're featuring the treat bag because it's so cool. Like I could have put it behind and just had a little bit peeking out on the side, but I opted instead to make it a feature of this project. So you will need the iridescent treat bags to make this project. I believe they are $8 in the US and you get 20 of them. I feel like I keep saying that these will probably sell out right before Halloween or maybe even in September, and then we might have a hard time getting them back in stock for Halloween. So just as a little word of warning, if you are planning on making a project with these, don't wait to put these on your order. But anyway, I really love the way the cardstock and everything changes colors. So on one angle you can see the house clearly, and then you move it and it kind of disappears a little bit, so it looks a little haunted. I did the haunted house in both lemon lime twist background with Secret Sea house, and then I did a Secret Sea background with a smoky slate house. So you can see the difference between the two. They're both kind of cool. So that's this is the spooky Halloween bundle. Last night I also did a sample using the cat. Today we're going to do a sample using the little dog stamp. And I think this is also really cute. See how it really comes into focus and then it goes out of focus, right? It's very, very cool. The topper for these that I used are the party banners dies. So I'm just gonna, I don't want to lose track of which one I want to use so that I don't have to count. But these are the party banners dies. Remember, I don't know, it was several weeks ago I made boxes using these particular dies. So this is another way to use them. They make a great topper. And the nice thing about these dies is if you have bags of different sizes and need toppers for them, you've got all the different widths that you can choose from. So these are infinitely useful for that. Then I was like, well, what if someone got the Fright Night bundle and hadn't gotten the Spooky Halloween bundle? So I also did this one here. And this one, I just used the Fright Night bundle, this label. So I folded it right at an opportune spot, but then the back would be upside down. But that's okay. Halloween is like a little spooky and crazy. So the front has I used the spider webs in Smoky Slate, and then I did a spider in Secret Sea. I colored a little bit on top of here. You don't need to do that, but that's just another way to do that. And the Fright Night bundle is this bundle right here. What did I do? Oh, I did a little box with these a few weeks ago. And I didn't show, this is the Spooky Halloween bundle. This is the one that comes with a little haunted house die cut, and it has die cuts to cut out the dog and the cat. So both bundles can be used. I'm even thinking now, this looks really spooky and eerie. I didn't get a chance to try these with the Christmas colors, but with the party banners dies, you could theoretically create like a Christmas one as well. I know it looks spooky when you do it in Halloween colors and when you do it in, with the Halloween bundles, but maybe it would look festive and sparkly if you did it in a Christmas environment. So think about these iridescent treat bags beyond just Halloween, that you can use them for other occasions as well. I know some people don't do things for Halloween, so just think about the possibilities of what we could do with Christmas. I'm also using a few of these. These are the Shimmer Star foam stickers, and you can just really easily just pop those on the topper just to decorate them. This was decorated very simply, and I know that some of you are going to take this to the next level and decorate it up a little bit more, but I really feel like it is finished when it has this iridescent look to it. It does look finished, and it doesn't really need anything else. So I'm going to show you how to make these, and then I will have a project sheet for all my email list subscribers tomorrow. If you're not already on my email list, make sure that you subscribe. The link is down below. Look for the description of the video. There's probably a little more button you have to click on to open up the description. And there you will find my link to get on my email list so you can get my weekly project sheets. And I do feel like they're kind of worth it. They are little reference sources. I will have a diagram for you. There's a picture of the project, a supply list, and step-by-step instructions, as well as links back to my blog post and the video. So if you're doing this project next year, you will have all of those things at your fingertips. The other thing I wanted to mention to you today, I still have my BOGO sale going on, and just one more day left of my BOGO sale. I only do the sale once a year because it makes my craft studio a mess. Yesterday I got half my BOGO sale retired product orders out the door, and then I had to stop to design today's project. So it was complete chaos. I had to tidy up. So I only do the sale once a year because it does involve me bringing up my products and having them handy, and then having all the shipping supplies. But it is awesome for you. If I were a customer, I would be all over this, because you get my retired products for free with an equal order in the Stampin' Up! Stores. So if you spend $100, you get $100 worth of my retired product. So you place that order, I pull the product from here, you're going to get that product for free. The only other thing you do is pay for the shipping for me to get the retired product to you. So that's why it's called a BOGO. It's kind of like if you buy one of equal value, you're going to get one of equal value for free. But we just do it as a number. So it's $100. You get to choose $100 worth of my retired product. So if there's like a bundle last year or whatever, maybe you had your eye on and didn't get. Now, I don't have all the bundles. I have a select list. So if you want to check out my sale, please do so today. Next week, I am completely packing up the sale. So if there's some stragglers on the weekend that still want to participate in my sale, I will have it out until like Sunday night. And then Monday, I am packing it up and putting all the stuff away so that I can have my studio back and have room to move in it again. But it is well worth looking at. If you want to check it out, click in the description of this video below, click on the More button, and the very first link is the link to my blog post. And up at the top, there's a little skinny banner. Just click on that and it will take you directly to the sale so that you can see what I still have left. I've got lots of bundles, punch bundles, die bundles. I've got cardstock. I've got embossing folders. I've got standalone dies. So there's still a lot of things to pick and choose from. All right. One other thing I will also mention, if you're placing an order, we do have our in color sale going on right now. Our 2025 to 2027 in colors are on sale for 15% off. And I just picked up, actually bought cardstock and all the in colors that we had this year, because our cardstock is getting more expensive, so it's really nice to have that on sale. So the Secret Sea color I'm using today, I think this is already my third pack since the catalog went live in May, and this time I'm getting it for a discount, so that's kind of nice. So pick up those things. The Secret Sea ink pad I'm also using, it's also 15% off. So definitely take advantage of the sale while the products are still available. And right now they are. Okay, are you guys ready? I am going to just make my camera. And we're going to start this project. Okay, let's pop some things aside here. First, let's take a look one more time at these little bags. They definitely stand up on their bases, but they look so spooky with these colors, and I like how, like, from one angle you see the house very clearly, and then it kind of disappears at different angles. So I really love the way that kind of hides behind. See how this one's kind of disappeared and this one's kind of disappeared, and then you tilt it and then all of a sudden you can see it. So I really feel like it really embodies like the spirit of Halloween. And I don't feel like these are very hard to make either, so that's a good thing. All right, we're going to start off with whatever color you want for this part that goes inside the bag here. That's the color you need to start off with. I've basically just used two colors, a lemon lime twist and Secret Sea. And sometimes I put lemon lime twist behind and Secret Sea on top, so you can kind of see how I just alternated those two colors, and they seem to work pretty well together. So start off with a piece of Secret Sea, and this one measures 10 1/8 by 2 3/8. Okay, and then we're gonna grab our little stylus tool and make sure it's right in the corner here, and all we need to do is score this piece at 4 1/4 and 5 7/8. 4 1/4 and 5 7/8. All right. Okay, so then this piece will just get folded along the score lines. So this is going to be in the bottom of the bag. Then we're going to take haven't decided what order I'm going to do this in. So the Iridescent treat bag, it is a flat bag. It does not have any gussets. So to help this little bag along with folding, you can try and stick it in there, but it helps a little bit. This is the opening of the bag. So with the fold of the bottom facing this way, and the open end is facing this way. If you just take your small ball of your stylus tool and just gently score at the 7/8 inch mark. Okay, this is just going to help your bag decide where it wants to fold itself. So now we're going to open this up. We're going to kind of stick it in when it's a little bit flat. And then we're going to just start churning this so that the two long sides are even. And we need to kind of push this down to the bottom of the bag. And if you need something, like maybe take something a little longer and just kind of help it along. You're going to kind of aim it towards, you're going to be able to see those score lines right at the bottom. When I've done this before, I've kind of just stuck my hand in there and kind of just maneuvered it in. You just kind of need to push it to the bottom one way or the other. So once it gets down all the way to the bottom, you're going to notice it has these little things sticking out. We're going to secure those in a moment. Don't worry about those. If you want, you can just kind of flatten out the triangles. And you want this to kind of be flat and even. You want the seams on either side, and you want this one to be kind of down the center of the bottom. Okay. Then if you're going to make these now, and I would probably not do this step until you have the candy that you want to use. I am just going to use Kisses because even though there was Halloween candy in the stores, I just was not in the mood to buy it yet. So as an example, there's a lot of small candy now, or you could use candy corn or whatever small little treats. I'm going to use Kisses because most people know how big a kiss is, so you can get an idea of how many will fit in a bag. So let's just go ahead and drop 12 in here. So 2, 4, 6. It helps to have the weight in here. 8, 10, and 12. It helps to have the weight in there just so you can kind of maneuver things. You're going to kind of squish this up, and you're also going to at the same time push the seams in, and then we're going to fold over the top once we have our banner ready, and then we're going to add our little banner, and then we're going to fix the bottom. Actually, you know what I forgot to do? We forgot to add our little character. But the good news is now the bag has kind of put itself into the position that it needs to be. So we'll set this aside for a moment. We're going to do our little stamping first. So we're going to take our dog and our Secret ink pad. This is what happens when I don't have my project sheet ready ahead of time. I'm winging how I put things together. But I have put together several of these. So we're going to stamp this, and then I'm going to also stamp. I'm just going to do a couple of pumpkins. I only need one. Okay, let's put those aside. We're going to go ahead and die cut these, and we're going to die cut a banner. I think we can fit these through the mini boss. If you're getting the party banners dies though, I really do recommend making sure you get the big machine, because you won't be able to cut all of the banners if you just have a mini boss. So we're going to start off with our light gray plate. My machine's tight. The recommended plate is the #1 plate, which is right here. But it's a little thicker than the light gray plate, so I do not use it. And then we're going to take a clear plate for the top, and we'll have a clear plate reserved for the bottom. And we'll just put our little guy on here, and we'll find in here somewhere our dies that we need. We're going to use this die, and we have two little dies for the pumpkin. That's good because they're small, and what if you lose one? then you have a backup. So that's good. Or you can cut more pumpkins at the same time. I'm going to use a little bit of this Post-it labeling and cover-up tape. It's like the top of a Post-it note, the sticky part. And I'm just going to use it to position my die so it doesn't shift while I'm cutting it. Okay, I'm just kind of checking to make sure it is straight. Okay, so too much stuff on my desk. Okay. There is the little cute little dog. We're going to color him in just a moment, him or her. And then let's grab this and the little pumpkin. Sometimes you have to kind of understand where the die needs to be exactly in position in relation to each of the dies. So sometimes it's a good idea, if you have images to color, to die cut them first, just in case your die shifts while die cutting, because then you would have done all of that coloring work, and then you would have to redo both the die cutting and the coloring. So sometimes I like to kind of just do those first. So I'm going to just pop these back into my case so that I don't lose them. And then we're going to grab the party banner die. So the one that you need, this one, once it's cut, it's just about 2.5 inches. If you're measuring the actual die, it's just under 2 3/4, like if you're measuring it across. So, but once it's cut, it's about 2.5 inches across. And we just need a little piece of a lemon lime twist. So if I can just angle this just a teeny tiny bit, hopefully that always helps with going through a roller and not making crazy noises. Okay, that one worked pretty well. Okay, so we've got that. We can put away our mini boss for the moment. Okay. So we've got our little pieces. I don't think I need all of these colors. Oops. But these are some of the colors that I used. Actually, I'm gonna bring in, I am such a, I cheat. You know why I cheat? Because sometimes once I know, this is the treat box that I made a few weeks ago. Once I color something and I like the way it's colored, I'm going to probably repeat that coloring. So that's what I'm going to do right now. You know what? I'm cheating. I'm going to color it in the exact same way as before, because that way I don't have to think about it, right? There's all these little parts to this shirt and stuff, so it's just easier just to kind of know how to color it. Here, I'm going to use my brush. Do you cheat as well? Do you cheat and color things the same way each time? Maybe not. But for me, you know, the part of it that is the hardest is, well, not the hardest for me. It's like the time that I spend is usually spent on figuring things out. Like, you should have seen how many renditions of this I had on my desk. And then you will realize why I needed to cheat on the coloring. So I'm going to use Smoky Slate for the shorts and the eye. The dog is actually going to be white, so that helps a lot. That means that there's a lot of things that I'm not having to color. Okay, so Lemon Lime Twist on the shirt, Smoky Slate on the shorts, and I'm going to use a little bit of Highland Heather on the lollipop. I think that's it for the dog because the dog's white. And then I'm going to use, now I did use, this is dark peach pie. This is what I have out. Let's see how that looks. If that looks adequate. See, this is a bit darker, but I think I can get away with dark peach pie since it's the color I have out. I use light peach pie for the cat, so I'm trying to use colors that I already have. So, okay, there you go. A little cheat. Copying what I've already done once. Okay. Right now I'm going to set the box aside. And I think actually this may have been the way they colored it in the catalog. So, but it's good. That's what they have it there for, right? Okay. Now we need to bring this piece back in because I don't want to have all that candy in there until I've got this. I glued this on the, I'm just going to grab a block here. Tilt this up so you can kind of see what I'm going for. This little guy is going to be, these are both about the same height, and I have this one maybe about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom. So I'm just kind of deciding where I want that, and that looks really cute. So let's go ahead and glue this down. And I really feel like it does look a lot cuter on the inside. So the bag kind of gives it that eerie feel than if it would be on the outside. And then let's go ahead and do this little pumpkin. And I'm going to just, come on, slide it underneath like that. Isn't that cute? Okay. All right. So now we're going to redo what we did before, but maybe it was easier that I showed it to you when it was all blank. So now we just kind of slide this back in. And now that we've got this situated once, it's so much easier to put it back in because now it knows where it needs to go, right? So even if you have to redo that, like, see how cute that is? Now, I know I already counted out 12 of these, so whatever's sitting here on my desk, that's what's going into the bag, and that's going to help weigh it down. Okay, so we'll set this aside for a second, and now we're going to deal with this party banner. And I'm just going to grab my scoring board again, and afterwards I thought I really should have scored this the other way, but it's the way I did it the first time, so now I'm kind of stuck because I have the measurements for it, and because of 16ths and everything like that, I'm going to do it this way because I want all my banners to be scored in the same way. So I am putting, instead of putting the straight side in the corner, I am putting the banner edge to the left side with one of the long sides up at the top, and we're going to score this at the 1 3/4 inch mark. Okay, so it looks like that. And then we're going to stamp before we fold this, and I am using Happy Halloween because it fills the space really well. I'm going to come back in with Secret C. See, we didn't really use a lot of ink colors. So we're only using one ink color here for ink pad at least. And then we're just going to center this on here, guide it into place. And look how nice that looks. It really, Secret C is a blue black, It really pops against the lemon lime twist cardstock. Okay, so now we're just going to fold this. And then we have two options of staplers. I just want to show you, I like to use like one of these handheld, they're called plier staples. I just want to show you the difference here real quick. Got me a little piece of cardstock. So the staple is what holds this shut, but I want to kind of show you what I'm going to do. So this is the smaller staple. This uses number 10 staples. I'm going to staple right beside it. This one's like a regular staple. You can use either one of these. If you're looking for a plier staple, you don't need to have one. You can use a regular staple. I just kind of like having these in my hand. I think it goes faster. Now this one is a little bit more heavy duty. It can go through more sheets than the baby one, the one with the number 10. Stampin' Up! Used to sell this one a long time ago. So I have one that's Stampin' Up! Branded. And this one is a bigger Amazon Basics one. So whatever makes you happy, use a stapler. I just wanted to show you what I am using. So we're going to run the fingers up the seam right here. And you want to make sure it's kind of equal. It looks even. Also make sure this is all the way down and you only have these little tiny corners right there. And then I'm just going to fold this over the top like that. And then we're going to grab this and just position it over top like that. And then grab whatever stapler you want. And I'm strategically just deciding to put this right above the Happy Halloween. It's barely there. And if you're very, very careful, you can even color your staple just a little bit. You just have to make sure you stay on the staple and not on the cardstock, because, oh, see, I just hit the cardstock. You can kind of see I hit under the P. So you have to be very careful if you're going to do that. But it actually worked out really well for this Happy Halloween. If this staple doesn't look as conspicuous, but on the dark, the staple was a lot darker, but it's there. You can see it. And I colored that with the Secret C Stampin' Blends, and it just kind of disappeared. So on this one, I just put it above the spooky. It kind of disappears on the white. I didn't even color that one. So don't worry about there being a staple. It just kind of really secures things super well. Now we have to deal with this bottom. So you can go about this one of two ways. For these ones, I actually put a mini glue dot right at the very tip of the triangle, and then I folded it in and just pressed it against that. Now these have been holding fairly well, but I was thinking, what if we don't want these sticking out like that? I was thinking maybe we fold them underneath and secure it with a little bit of packing tape, because packing tape is super sticky. So I'm just going to cut myself a piece. Most people have packing tape in the house. So now we're going to do one side at a time. So I'm going to glue down this side first and then fold this side in. I can't even see the packing tape on the bottom of that. So I feel like I like this a little better with the triangles being folded to the bottom, because I think it makes for a cleaner finish on the treat bag. What do you think? I think that looks a lot better. And then all there is left to do is, haha, these. These are going to help just add a little something to the top, because this is quite simple, right? You're thinking to yourself, this is so simple, Brenda. I could have come up with it. Well, trust me, you could have. Yes, you could have. But the thing with this is, it took a while for me to get the right measurements. At first it was a box, and then it was, you know, I struggled. I swear I probably had about 10 pieces of inner cardstock here. So I have the measurements for you. So it works well. So even though it might look easy peasy to you, it just, sometimes it takes a little work. Sometimes the simplest of things takes a little bit more effort than you actually think they're going to take. So I'm just adding some of these little guys. They've got a little glitter to them. So I would just like take 3 of them and add them, and that just kind of gives it a little bit of pop to the top and helps finish it off. Look how nice that is. It is really, really nice. And yes, you see a little staple on the back. You could probably stamp something on the back of that too. Just make sure if you stamp on the back, you're going to be stamping upside down on this half, right? So it appears right side up once it's folded over. But doesn't that look nice? I think these would look really cute as a display if you're having like a Halloween event, whether it's like a classroom event, or maybe it's a co-worker event or whatever. These are super, super cute and not that hard to make. I love the way the party banners dies look on there. They just look really, really sweet. I wanted to show you one little thing still. So this haunted house, I used lemon lime twist in the background. Secret Sea is the house color. I did not have to put anything behind this one because the lemon lime twist is shining through. Okay, but I did emboss Happy Halloween on here with embossing powder. Okay, so that would be an extra little step that you would need to do, is embossing versus stamping. If you want to do this one, I have Secret Sea in the background here. This is smoky slate and then lemon lime twist topper. But in order for the house to have some light elements, the lemon lime twist, this is what I want to show you. I've cut a little piece. I just wrote the measurements down on the back, 1.5 by 2 1/8, and I'm going to just pop this behind here. Just make sure it's level with the bottom, and this is the easiest way that I found to do this. I may have shared this on another video that I did, but I want this video to be a standalone. So I'm going to take here, I'm going to draw the top of the roof line. I'm going to draw the tower and just the little bit of the roof line. Okay, so I'm just going to trace that with a pencil. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut just inside of that line, here and here. And then I'll just match it up on this side and cut just inside of the line. Okay, so now test it out. And I can see maybe this corner needs just a little bit more of a snip. In this corner, just a little snips, just on the off chance I can't get it centered perfectly. And now I can just put glue. I'm just going to put glue around the windows. I'm not going to go beyond this roof line here, but I am going to go just a little bit around this one just so it holds it into place. Okay, so now we're just going to add this back onto here and center it on here. And then we turn this over. Now, when you put this one, where are we? When you put this one against the black, it's going to have the windows having a different color. It's going to be the lemon lime twist, which I think works well in the background. And oh, if I move that out of the way, it will look like I actually have it trimmed up properly. So that is the way you would do that one. For this one, let me see if I can get it in focus for you. So this one I used, let's go into, instead of the party banners die, this is another reason why I sized the bag the way, or the piece of cardstock, so that you could either use Spooky Halloween or Fright Night. I wanted you to be able to use both. Maybe you have both bundles, then you can make some in both. So I just wanted to show you, these are the banners that come in this set. So I would stamp this stamp I would do Secret C on basic white, and then cut it out with the smaller one. Then take it to your scoring board. I have one right here. And what I would do is I would make myself a little tick mark where I wanted that score line. Can you see? I have a little pencil mark on the side right here. I'm going to put myself a little tick mark where I want to score, and then I'm going to line that up with any score line and then just score down. So I know that I'm going to hit between Beware and October 31st. I feel it's awkward to cut the cat off at that spot. You could also cut it off here after between October 31st and Spooky, but I think this is as close to the midpoint as you can get. And then once you've got that scored, I would take your next piece, all right, and I would cut, this one would be cut in Secret C cardstock, and then I would take my next piece and I would take that pencil line and move it over onto here. So once this is centered on here, I would score these both separately so you can score them more easily. Then take this pencil mark, line it up with a score line, score it, and then make sure your pencil lines match up again. Glue it down, okay? Now there'll be both score lines in that area. Glue it down, and then you can erase the pencil lines if they're visible, and then fold along the score line, and then attach it to your topper. The other thing with this one, I just wanted to share with you. So for the spider webs, I did Smoky Slate. There's 3 of these, so you can die cut them all in one go. And I used 2 of them for the bottom, and I just cut off a bit of, it's having trouble focusing. I just cut off the edge on this side here, and then I used one kind of coming down from the top, and then the spider is in Secret C. Same background as before, lemon lime twist. I colored over top of the words just to give it a little bit more color on the top because it was looking a little bit plain. So I just did an orange. I think I did Timid Tiger, Highland Heather, and then back to Lemon Lime Twist just to give it just a little bit. And I think I did Eek in Highland Heather again. So just to give it like a little bit of color at the top, since this is kind of a little bit in the background. But I don't know, this is kind of creepy and I love it because, you know, it's got the spider and it, you know, the one angle you'll see it really well and then it will kind of be gone, right? And so, yeah, it's perfect for Halloween. It is. So I hope, let me move myself back over here. I hope you really liked those little bags, and I hope you see the potential of the iridescent treat bags. And I also just want to remind you that I feel like once people really start playing with these, that they might sell out. And if you want to use them for Halloween, make sure you don't wait too long before you purchase them, because I would hate for them to be gone. I think you get 20 for $8, so that's enough to do like a smaller size classroom. Get two to make enough for a bigger size classroom. So I feel like, you know, they have a lot of potential, and this project is really designed around them, because you need that treat bag as the cover. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Otherwise, you would need a different treat bag, and I don't know any other options right now that would work. So this is what I am steering you towards. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope if you made it this far that you are already subscribed to my YouTube channel, and I appreciate that so much. Or if you're watching this on Facebook, that you are following me on Facebook. Please feel free to share this video. I would love for more people to know how to do my projects. Give me a like, leave me a comment. I appreciate that all so much. I want to say hello to all of you that have joined me here. I know I ignore the comments during my video. That's because I get distracted and I just want to plow through. But hopefully, if you have any questions, please ask them while I'm live, because I will answer them right away. Good morning, Valerie. Good morning, Marge. Hello, Marty. Good morning, Linda. Linda likes how the image is on the inside. I agree. I think it makes it so much cooler, because those iridescent treat bags, they make the image disappear and appear, and it's got different colors to it. It looks like a spooky potion working on it, a spell or something. So it would be really fun to use for any sort of, I don't know, maybe you're having a Harry Potter birthday party or something like that. Or maybe you're having a oh, just hold on. I'm hitting things. Maybe you're doing a unicorn party. I think these would be really cute, like a unicorn party, right? This color. Probably have more ideas than me, right? Hello, Mary. Hello, Deborah. Hello, Candy. She's listening while working. Hello, Cheryl. Hello, Karen. How many bags in a pack? And I will double check, but I have mentioned a couple times there are 20 in a pack. So right there, 20 in a pack. Okay. And let's keep going. Okay. Nina says, asking everyone to give me a thumbs up. Thank you, Nina. You're so sweet. And Cheryl answered my question again. This is what happens because I read the comments afterwards. Thank you for answering each other's questions. I appreciate it. And Karen, you're right. I think it absolutely could be used for other holidays too. I would love to see it being used in a different way. And it is not hard to make. You saw today how easy this bag was to make, right? It's just about getting the right dimensions and knowing how to put the thing inside the bag. Once you've done this a few times, it will work really well. I'm really pleased with the packing tape on the bottom. I think that really is a good way to have this come together. Look how these are just plain kisses. They look like really fancy kisses because they're behind here. And I know they're going to have Halloween colored kisses too. So you will find those in the stores. Candy corn, caramels would be good in here. Werters, like if you have like an older, I shouldn't say, I don't know if Werters are more sophisticated, but like if you have like a different kind of crowd, you tailor your candy to your crowd, right? So there's many different, although I think Hershey's Kisses most people will like because they're fun. But anyway, I think this is so easy, right? Sometimes we need an easy project and we don't need to spend a ton of time making a box, although the boxes that we made weren't terribly difficult, but it's nice to have another option, another shape to put out there for your treats. Let's see. And Candy also says the treat bag could be used for lots of occasions. Yes. And Karen said, ask if the back of the October 31st topper is upside down. It is, but it's okay. You know, it's okay because Halloween isn't a holiday that has a lot of rules to it. So it's okay if it's upside down. It just will have to be upside down. Now, if that bothers you, you could also, okay, this is what I would suggest. You could also cut, instead of scoring here, you cut here. And then you don't have this back side, it's just secret C on the back. And then you don't have to deal with that. Like I think it's kind of cute that it's fun and upside down, but maybe you don't. Maybe you don't like that idea. Maybe you don't want your words upside down. Maybe it doesn't look finished to you. Then cut right along October 31st and then just do your score line on the secret C piece just above that. And then it will look like it's just on the one side. So I'm trying to think, I guess it wouldn't work reverse because of the way the topper is, but I think this is really, really cute. Like the whole way that comes together. It's super cute. Okay, options. Hello, Jane. I'm glad you're joining me. And she says she'll watch the replay. Mary says cute bags, and thank you. Hello, Nalita. I'm glad you're on here this morning. Marty said you could also just put the light in the top window. That's a good idea. Yeah, you just cut yourself a little tiny square, kind of a spooky abandoned house with a light in the attic effect. Absolutely. Hello, Jen. A cute bag, she says. And she says, thanks for sharing my talent. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hello, Brenda. She says she's late, so she'll be watching again. Well, it should be available right after it's done, so you can start watching from the beginning right away. And my blog post is already up, and project sheet will be coming out tomorrow. Hello, T. And she says, another terrific project. Well, thank you. And oh, hello, Miran. I'm glad you're here this morning. Good morning. Good morning. Marty says her kids and grandkids call Werther's grandma candy. It is kind of an old-fashioned candy. But, you know, whatever we're doing, we're always tailoring things to our customers or our friends or our crowd, whatever it is. That's the beauty of making them yourself. You put in the candy you want, you use the colors you want, you use the bundle you want to decorate it up. I just think you start off with, you know, the little treat bags. Pick whatever color you want in the background. Put whatever you want in here. Maybe it's a very festive, sparkly thing. It could be Christmas. Merry Christmas up at the top, different embellishments. So easy to put this together and make cute little treat bags, and they look kind of professional. I'm pretty pleased with how these look. They don't look sloppy, or they look super cute. I would buy these if I saw them, right? Okay, let's see. We got a few more comments in the meantime. Hello, Tanya. She says she missed most of the live and she'll go back and watch the replay. Awesome. Marty says they still love the candy though, right? Yeah, you know what? Candy's candy, right? Sugar is sugar. Hello, Deborah. Glad you're on here this morning. Nalita said also, instead when you stamp, put a cover for the back and stays blank. So yeah, Nalita's suggesting too, you could, you know, cover part of it when you're stamping and not have stamp this part. You could put like a scrap piece of paper behind it and just have like a narrow piece of cardstock. So even when you're die cutting, you're not using like a whole piece of cardstock, or you kind of wasting a whole piece of cardstock. You just have like a shorter piece and you stamp this, maybe have a piece of scrap paper behind, and then you just die cut that and then just cut that portion. There's lots of different ways to do this and have it look the way that you want it to look. But good tips. I'm glad you're sharing tips with one another. I often get the best tips from my followers and watchers because you guys give me feedback too, and in the future I use those tips for my next project. So thank you for sharing those tips. That's how we get better at this, right? Tanya says her mom, who's almost 83, loves Werther's. Now she eats the no sugar because she's diabetic. Yes, my mom loved little like a little hard candy. She always kept some in the house and some in her purse. And, you know, truly, she would just have one every once in a while. And now I carry like a little tiny Ziploc bag of the candies in my purse because I remember that from when I was up there in the final years of her life. When I went to visit, she would go like, can you go, when you're going out, can you go and stop off and see if you can find some little hard candies, because they were harder to find these days. So I would go out and find them and bring them back for her, and that just makes me happy. So Karen says she wants to make some of these for Christmas stocking stuffers. I think they'd make really cute. I wish I had had the time last night. Truly, it took me for a simple project. Sometimes the more complicated the project, the easier it is for me. But this simple project had me a little stymied to get the right, you know, measurements, especially since I got the right measurements. But then I wanted to be able to use these dies with them too. I wanted to use both the Party Banners dies and these dies. So I had to kind of like keep changing my dimensions a little bit so that, you know, we could use both these and these. So we have two options. I love having more options for you. Since we really only have two Halloween bundles, I wanted to make sure that we could definitely use the treat bags for both. Maybe you only got the Fright Night bundle and now you're like, oh, I should have gotten the other bundle. But now you have both, right? Now you have options. And I love these Party Banner dies. I'll probably be making more things with them. So definitely worth getting. If you look back, if you're new to me, I have Party Banners boxes that I made out of these guys. So check those out. That was a little bit earlier on. Let's see. Deborah says, really cute project. Thank you. And Mary says she loves them. Thank you. Candy said, you could build the tag as is, then cut in half and have two tags out of it. Yeah. Yeah, I guess you could. Like you could. Well, actually, I don't know. Like the top is going to be the other way around though, because it's going to have the top swirly part. So this side doesn't work quite as well, but maybe for a different project you could use it. Play around with it and just see what you come up with. But there's different ways to make that work. And sometimes I'm just like, path of least resistance, it's going to be upside down on the back, and that's fine with me, or cut it off. So cool. Karen says she loves having two options. Hello, Anita. She says good morning, and she says she loves the projects and she hopes to make some for Halloween. Well, thank you all for sticking with me this far. Don't forget to check out my BOGO sale. I say the end date's today, but if you catch me on the weekend still, I will still be BOGOing right until the end of the weekend. I am getting things mailed out. I should have some more mailed out on Saturday. I'm just working through packaging up everything. I want to make sure everything's packaged up well so nothing gets damaged in the mail. So I'm taking a little time, and I also made some thank you cards to go inside. So, you know, all of that takes a little bit of time. But your BOGO orders are starting to ship. If they haven't already shipped, and check it out, because you get my retired product for free with an equal order. Maybe you're picking up some iridescent treat bags that you need for this project, and you are welcome to place your order first and then contact me with what you want. But this is the caveat: I only have one of each item. So if you want a specific item, please reach out to me, because I want to make sure I reserve it for you, and then you can place your order afterwards, or before. There are some people that placed an order before, and that is fine. I just want to make sure you get the product that you want. If you want the link to my BOGO sale, just click down below to my blog post today, and up at the top of my blog post today, there is my link, or just go to cubiesquest.com. Here is my website. Just take the join part off. Go to cubiesquest.com, and up on my home page, one of the boxes will take you directly to my BOGO sale that is going on right now. All right, I hope you all have a great weekend, and watch for my project sheet that is coming out tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.